was certainly not a luxury inn, but Emmy had no criticisms for the hot spring baths. She reclined against the stone edge of the pool as steam washed over her face, and the near-scalding water soaked the stiffness from her muscles. Beyond the natural rock walls, the sheer plains of the mountain rose through the curtains of snow before disappearing in the darkness. On a clear day, many summits crowded the skyline. The inn was among several strange places she'd visited in Tsuchi, the yokai spirit realm. Her favorite was Yume's oak tree home, where she'd spent several days recuperating a couple weeks ago. Though small and cluttered with an inexplicable collection of junk, she'd felt oddly comfortable there, even with his crow yokai constantly watching her like a particularly delicious snack they weren't allowed to eat. At least the karasu wouldn't actually attack her. She couldn't say the same about the yokai at the inn. Luckily, the baths had been empty the past few nights. Adjusting the towel wrapped around her hair, she sank lower until the water lapped at her throat. Cold spots dotted her cheeks as snowflakes melted on her skin. Would this be her last time bathing in a hot spring? Similar questions had been slipping into her thoughts more and more often. Had she eaten her favorite battered fish for the last time? Had she seen the beautiful dance of falling snow for the last time? Had she already kissed Shiro for the last time? The questions scattered her thoughts, and she dipped down until her chin touched the water. Only 4 days had passed since she had kissed him on the garden walkway in the snow. Only 4 days since she'd realized she was in love with him. She let her head fall back. She was in love with a yokai, who was also a kunitsukami. He was immortal, even if he didn't remember his past life. She had only a few weeks to live, while he would live forever. Love between them was impossible and doomed to end in tragedy. He, though, would be the one left behind to grieve alone. The thought tore her apart. That was the pain that had driven her to flee the room. He didn't need reminders of his inevitable solitude. Soon, perhaps even before she was gone, Shiro's memories would return. And with them, Inari would slide into Shiro's place, erasing her playful kitsune. She had seen Inari through a memory Amaterasu had shown her. Though he and Shiro shared many traits, a cutting undertone lined Inari's mischievousness, and a predatory edge sharpened his smile. And beneath was a bitter, hardened core of ice that didn't at all suit a god of fire. Trailing her fingers through the water, she puffed out a breath. She had drawn many conclusions from only a brief glimpse of Inari, but she was still certain he wouldn't share Shiro's feelings for her. It was her only slight comfort. Even if Shiro grieved her loss, Inari would not. How could an ancient immortal ever love a human girl? Her shoulders drooped, and she tipped her head back on the rock ledge. 3 weeks left. Before her thoughts could spiral to darker places, she cleared her mind. For the first time in too long, she slipped into the familiar meditative state she had practiced since she was a child. And as her thoughts went silent and her heartbeat slowed, she relaxed. The water splashed loudly, and she jolted upright with a surge of adrenaline. Her eyes flew open. A naked woman stood on the pool steps. She blinked large golden eyes at Emmy, and the ash-brown cat ears poking out of her shoulder-length hair perked forward. A long, furred tail swished behind her. Emmy cringed back, clamping her hands over her kamigakari mark. She remembered the woman. In this very pool, the yokai had debated with her companions whether to